Felix the cat, the wonderful, wonderful cat. Whenever he gets in a fix, he reaches into his bag of tricks. Felix the cat, the wonderful, wonderful cat. You laugh so much your sides will ache, your heart will go pit-a-pat. Watching Felix, the wonderful cat.
This is the latest. It's called the Droop. Come on, now you try it.
Me?
I think Miss Trivia's a swinger.
Swinger?
You don't want her to think you're square, do you?
Oh.
Then if you learn how to dance well, she'll think you're boss.
Boss?
Neat. Groovy. Come on, try it. Loosen up a little. Let yourself go.
Oh, boy, I'm lucky. I'll say I'm lucky. This is my lucky day.
You got it, Lurch.
Oh, what a pleasant surprise. I thought the mazurka went out ages ago. Wednesday, darling, you're excused. And please turn off the phonograph.
Yes, Mother.
Lurch, the music has stopped.
No, but I can't.
Happy Halloween, everybody. Let's go. Good evening. How's everybody doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome all. This is the Wednesday Indie Comic Book live stream. I'm Lorenzo, and you're not. Lucky for you. Good to see some folks in the chat already. And man, let's talk about some stuff. But first, we want to talk about the sponsor for this live stream. And the sponsor of that live stream is no less than the Alternative City Shop. The Alternative City Shop is where you'll find comic books, t-shirts, and some one-of-a-kind artwork by yours truly. There are indie and superhero mystery boxes filled with comics from my collection. There are also pins and pocket mirrors made from images cut from superhero comic books. There is no YouTube sponsorships or Patreon for this show, so if you want to show your support, this is how you do it. That's right. You can do whatever you want on this show as long as you're respectful to everyone in the chat. And hey, say whatever you want as well. So that kind of thing does not usually get YouTube sponsorship. So help a brother out if you can. I appreciate you. I'm going to shout out the chat first, and then we're going to talk about some things that need to be talked about and the direction of the show going forward. Such and such. Phil, glad to see you, my friend. Glad to, that looks like from the day the earth stood still. Am I right? Am I right? Or am I wrong? Let me know about that. And then we got, is that Hooked on Juno? What's happening, Hooked on Juno? Good to see you too. Oh, that's for Phil. I don't think, are you the PNW, Phil? That'd be nice. It'd be nice if you were, but if only. What else we got? We got the lovely Janet. How are you doing, sweetie? And Mojo. How you doing, Mojo? Always good to see you guys. And is that my friend Damien? Sleepy Weeder. Sleepy Weeder. Sleepy Reader 666. Good to see you, sir. And TN Games and Comics. What's up, Thomas? Good to see you, my friend. This man's got I think you're on tour right now. Am I right? Shout out to where you're touring at right now, if that's going on. And I think that may be all for now. Hey, Roscoe had a big announcement last night. I happened to stumble upon his live stream. I caught it at the very end. We'll talk about that in a minute too. You doing, sir? I think that's all for now. So let's just get to the business at hand here. Well, I've been gone for a while, as obviously, as you all know. It's been almost what 6, 7 weeks, maybe. I said it was going to be like 3 weeks. So once again, I was a little off, more ways than one, some might say. And I'm going to address a few things about the direction of the show, and of course, the question people have been asking, like, what's going on with Marcus? Marcus is the first thing, of course. Marcus and I, man, we've been together. We were together for like over 3 years since 2022. I think February of 2022. Man, I appreciate everything that Marcus did to help this channel grow and the just overall energy he brought. And man, it wasn't like it was a thing that happened. It was just something I noticed over time, and it was kind of like, I want to say it was like one of those, neither one of us want to be the first to say goodbye kind of a thing going on. I felt maybe I could be wrong, and he would tell you otherwise. He can speak for himself. This is just me talking. I felt like it got to a point where he wasn't feeling the show like he was originally when we got together, and it was understandable. I mean, he's a busy man, a talented guy that got stuff to do, and a lot of the stuff that he does, I have no interest in. And we were two very different people, and that's great. That's what made the synergy work together with us, because we were so different. We played off each other, and I just thought this. The week before I took my break, he let me know that he needed to do some work and he wasn't be able to make the stream. And I was just thinking, like, wow, this maybe I didn't do it as smoothly as I would like to do. But I texted him back and let him know that this is not personal, because when you text people, it just come on stuff like the context is lost. So I just let him know, dude, thanks for what you've done, but I think it's time that I just do this thing myself. And that's where it's going to be going in the future. It's just going to be me and then the occasional guest host. I got some lined up for the next couple of weeks, but I might not have some for a few weeks after that. So it's going to be kind of play it as it goes kind of a thing. It's going to be unscripted, as I always like it to be. And just just go from there. I have no animosity toward him. I can't speak for him. But there is no replacing him, because he is irreplaceable. And I wish him all the best with his what he's doing in the future. I mean, he's into the Discord. He's into like a lot of NFL stuff and things that I just don't do. So now he has a lot of time. Not to mention his family. He's a man with 2 young children and stuff like that. So he's got a lot of stuff on his plate and a full-time job. So I'm fucking elderly shut-in who's just retired and just doing this thing on a whim. And I have no desire, no aspirations for to be like the number one guy. Like that's going to happen anyway. I'm just doing this for my own edification and for hopefully some of y'all out there can relate to some of the stuff that I do as well. I'm going to do that for as long as I can, or as long as YT lets me slide by playing other people's promos and stuff like that, and don't just knock me off the air. So as long as I can do it, I'm going to do it. So that's it. That's pretty much all for that. As far as the direction of the show, you may have noticed in the intro, I used to talk about mainly indie comics, but going forward, it's going to be only indie comics. I mean, full time indie. That's it. I know people like Chaos and Comics and giving me shit about you talk about indies, but then you pull out DC and Marvel stuff all the time. Yep, I feel you. And some things happened over the break that made me even hunker down even more with the indie crowd. I no longer buy Marvel or DC comics. I'm talking like new comics produced by the corporations that rule them now. I'm done with them. I will never buy another. I got some stuff still coming in. So I ordered stuff 2 months in advance before I stopped ordering. But I will not buy anything new from Marvel or DC. Classic stuff, 60s, 70s books and stuff like that, of course, that stuff is gold. That's just goated. You know, that's a whole different deal. But the people that own the stuff now, I want nothing to do with. You know, not the creators. I'm not talking about them. They're just employees. I'm talking about the powers that be that run those two companies and the mega global corporations that own them. So the hell with them. I also dropped Disney Plus and Hulu and all that jazz too. And you probably know why about that. You know, and know what? I feel a lot better about myself. And I've saved like, I don't know how much money I was paying those streaming services, and they were just about to go up. So fuck them. So I dropped that. We're watching just a few. We're narrowing down. We still got Netflix and Prime. You know, those are, well, that's another story too, but we'll get to them too. So now, you know, I'm only buying indie comic books, and that's the name of that tune. So that's another thing I want to talk about. What else? Those are two main things. I've got some new people popping in here. Thought I saw Ross. What's happening, Ross the Great? Good to see you, my brother. What's happening? What is happening? Any chance you be at Short Run Seattle this Saturday? I didn't even know about that. You know, good question. If I do go, there's a slim chance now that I know about it. I don't have anything to do. I like to take I like to take the train into Seattle if I can. If I can get and a lot of times the train sells out like a week in advance. So I'm not going to be driving to Seattle anymore anytime soon. Seattle is no place for cars. You not bring your car to downtown Seattle. So if I can get a train in, I might come to that. Yes. Thank you, Thomas. Also, Thomas, I'm going to be a host in a couple of weeks too. So that's going to be a fun thing. Next week will be, as it was revealed on Roscoe's stream, Phil will be a guest host. And we also will have a guest. We will have a creative guest, and his name is Daniel Moeller. And he's got a Kickstarter going on right now for his book, which slips my mind right now. But he'll be here next week as a guest. Won't be a guest every week, but it's like always, you know, sometimes he'll be a guest, sometimes not. But most of the time it'll just be me and maybe a guest and maybe a guest host. That doesn't sound confusing at all. Of Indies, there's Roscoe. Hello Halloween had an awesome glow in the dark variant. Ooh. Hello Halloween. I think I'm up on that. Oh my God! Is that? Oh my God! It's the blast from the past. What's happening, Rude? Good to see you, sir. Man, haven't seen you in a cool minute. We missed you too, brother. Glad you're here. Yes. Indians are where it's at, man. I'm just so done with all that, and it's so. You know, I could just go on and on about that, but I want you know where I'm coming from with that. Jim Woodring, okay, that's Jim Woodring. I'm trying to think of the book he does. Does he do that little indie book with the penguin or the little short penguin looking creature? I'm thinking of something else. I'm not sure, but remind me of that. That name doesn't ring a bell though. So yeah, I never met him in person. Phil's going to be there. He's got to fly out from wherever he's living to be there. Yeah, he is a beautiful man, isn't he? He's a very good looking man. What's the most recently read indie? Oh, it's coming up on What's Good. Let's see. The most recently read one was probably the other night. I think the last one I read was Save Now. That's going to be in the What's Good thing. And that was one of the bad idea books that came out recently. They got some good stuff coming out. There's another bad idea book I was going to do, but I'll save that for next week. That's They're All Terrible, which is also pretty good. I love the tone of those bad idea books, man. They're just so kind of got that don't give a fuck attitude. You know, that's awesome. Yes, stick around. It's coming up. If not, you can't stick around, then I'll clip it out and it'll be in the I'll just release it as an independent video. Frank, that's what I'm talking about. Frank looks like a cat. Yeah, I know that little funny looking character. Okay, I couldn't think of the name of the character, but I remember what he looked like, and it was pretty funny. Yes. Awesome. And looking forward to you being here too, my friend. All right, so that's I think that's all that's going on. Um, there's some other stuff I want to talk about, but we'll save that for later. Like a lot of stuff is just it's just you just see what's going on with it. I just finished Tongues and Anders Nielsen book. Oh, okay. Check that out. What'd you think of that? What do you think of that? All right. So, man, I got the, oh, you notice I had the space background on. I forgot to put the old lava lamp background on. We'll do a little bit of a change this week. Changes in the air. All right. So, about that Wednesday clip, though. Those clips, by the way, the last one was the Addams Family, the original Addams Family. That was Wednesday cutting a rug there with Lurch. She was doing the popcorn or something, looks like. And Ted Cassidy as Lurch. And before that, it was the original Munsters theme. Now, there was two Munsters themes, for those of y'all that know the Munsters. The original one was my favorite. That was the one with the original Marilyn, which I believe she was some evangelical Christian or something. She eventually quit the show because she thought the Munsters were satanic or something, and she was replaced by Pat Priest, who came in the second season, and then they changed the intro to put her in there, and they had a little revision of that theme song, of that intro. As Janet would say, that's my Captain Obscurity moment, little shit like that. Oh, yes. And the Felix the Cat intro, thank you so much, Tom. The Felix the Cat intro is because we got a new family member named Felix. Maybe you remember. If y'all don't, I don't blame you, because it was 6-7 weeks ago. At the time, we had taken in this cat. We used to call him Porch Cat, and I named him Orson, like Orson Welles. But it turns out Orson is owned by somebody else. Orson is owned by a dude down the street. I mean, we see Orson like under our porch. That's the name, Porch Cat, all the time, in our front yard, all the time, in the garden, taking a crap, and just lounging. Nobody owns this cat. And we've been seeing him for like over a year. And we finally took him to the vet, waited 2 weeks. We got to know him very well. He got to know us. He was chilling inside. He was like more morbidly obese when we picked him up, and got some weight off of him. And we got to the vet. He has a chip. Who owns him? I'm thinking like, okay, some long lost, like, Hallmark story. This cat like traveled 50 miles and he's been living out, and a happy ending. We finally turned him in. It's a dude down the road. It's like a hoarder. Cat hoarder, but probably a regular hoarder too as well. Because it's like he came over to pick him up. He regularly has like 17 cats in his house, in and out. And it turns out Boo Boo Kitty is also his cat. Boo Boo Kitty we've had for a year now almost. But these cats leave because it's so goddamn crowded. Cats are very territorial. I mean, they don't like a lot of drama and a lot of other cats around. I mean, despite what the cat owners may say, they like their own territory. And if it's too crowded, they're gonna bounce. So, Boo Boo was not chipped, so we get to keep her. But Orson was chipped, and we had to give Orson back because that's the law. Pets are property. They're, despite how neglectful an owner may be, they are entitled to the pet. It's not like you treat your kid bad, they take them away. You can treat, unfortunately, animals any kind of way you want to treat them. Yeah. So that's the story of that. So now Felix, Felix is a kitten. Felix, we got kitten Felix like 6 weeks, no, like maybe 4 weeks ago now. I think he's 4 or 5. I lose count. Time is all irrelevant to me now. But we got him, and he's growing like a tree and eating us out of house and home. He's the cutest little thing. He's causing, ruckus, but he's just so cute. And I got him outside now because he's probably jumping all over the keyboard and just causing havoc. But maybe sometime I'll bring him in. But yeah, we love him. Yeah. Yeah. Well, actually, unfortunately, that is his owner. The hoarder guy is his owner, and he just calls him his cat. To me, it's not your cat if your cat is living in, crapping in our garden and living in our, back porch, and you say he's my favorite cat. Yeah, the cats are meant to climb trees and and chase bugs, and he's chasing bugs in here, and his climbing days are over. I think it's just one of those things that they have this idealized, this fantasy of how they grew up with cats and how cats should be, but realistically, domestic cats were bred to be small and they're vulnerable, and the only thing that they are not prey to is like mice and birds, and everything else is they're the prey. So domestic cats don't do well outside. They have a very very limited lifespan, and it's just but what are you going to do? What's up, 80s guy? Dun, 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 dun. Exactly. I was this close to naming him Oscar. I thought about, we had Orson, about Oscar. I like Oscar. Felix. I've always liked Felix the cat, and I also like the Odd Couple. So it was a tough call, but we landed on Felix, and I think it's a good call. It's he's going to grow to be a nice big cat, and he'll stop eating so much stuff at some point. Yay, indeed. All right, enough of me just jabbering on here. Let me show you the stuff I picked up this week so we can move on with the stuff. Oh, in the mail, actually, before we do that. Let's hold off on that until the end of the show if you can. Because he may just like I said, just start raising hell. He's such a cutie. But he is a little rascal, that fella. My buddy I used to work with at the UPS store, name is Dave, and he goes by Cove, Cove. I don't know if he's on Instagram or not, but maybe I'll put a link to some of his stuff. I think he's on something, but he sent me some drawings of his. He's a fine artist. He wrapped it in like really fancy stuff here. It's like wax paper and stuff like that. He sent me a print, and he does line work on paper that already has stuff on it. The stuff on there is his line work is his, but the photograph or the whatever this is, this image, the photo image is someone else's, and he superimposes his line work over that. Yeah, he's a fine artist, so I have no interest in being in the fine art field, but because that's one of those things that's just not for me. And he's just, you can't see it because this camera's too bright. But thanks, Dave. I appreciate you. And also in the comics realm, I got this from Critical Entertainment, which is the First Americans number, I think it's number 4 or 5. Chapter 3, part 1. This is the First Americans. So I got this from those guys. Also, if you guys are listening, shout out to Critical Entertainment. You guys want to do another RS Alley segment? Just get at me either on Instagram, or I think that's the best way to reach me. Instagram is down below in the description. Very nice. Christopher Rada and Tad Galusha worked on the First Americans. It was an ongoing saga. And he sent me some pages, I guess, from a graphic novel that's coming out soon from Patriot Comics. I guess they work with them as one of their creators. God is a Bullet. And this is some of the pages from that book. It looks pretty awesome, too, coming up. This is kind of glossy, so it shines a lot. This is coming up from Critical Entertainment in the very near future. Yeah. Oh, really? Oh, nice. We can definitely, those covers are dope. Yes. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right. All right. So other stuff I got more traditional. Well, First Americans is traditional. I was thinking more of the fine artwork here. Stuff I picked up from the shop today, and also from over the break, if you will, my break. I got some stuff from the Mark Spears. Of course, y'all that know me know that I love some of the blind bag things. I say some, not all, because I did not care for the DC KO blind bags. You know, another reason is like it cemented my fact. You know what? Fuck DC too. You know, because DC's blind bags are $10, and whereas everyone else's blind bags are under $10, Mark Spears is $5.99, and Battle Beast was $3.99. So that gives you like, you know, a motive to like buy the blind bag. You know, I bought like 3 DC KO blind bags, and it was just like, okay, they're all foil covers, but there's nothing special about them. Yay! So I got 3 $10, you know, foil covers that I didn't get to pick for a $10 price, but I could have gotten a foil cover for like less than, you know, cover price through the other blind bags. So indie blind bags only. That's what I'm trying to say. Long story short. So all of those Mark Spears books of blind bags, I got these books. This is a very cool one. It's a Star Wars homage. There's a lot of reflection today. For some reason, I have to rectify that at some point. This is a Mark Spears version of Star Wars cover. That man can. When does he sleep? Does he freaking take a break? He's like the Jack Kirby of comic books covers. And this is another one here from The Monster and the Wolf blind bag. Love me some Frankenstein. Love me some Frankenstein. Another one's a little less complex, but very Halloweeny. He's got some cards coming out soon. In fact, I got a Kickstarter for those cards. I got my letter today saying that they ain't gonna make it they're not gonna make it by Halloween. Hate to tell you, I kind of figured they wouldn't, because many times these projects just go on and on. Those of y'all that have done Kickstarters know how shit just goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. Yeah. Was that? Does he sleep? Yeah. Seriously, I mean, that's why I try to be productive. I love my sleep. Because sleep, the older you get, you need that sleep more to like regenerate. This is another one here. It's kind of cool. You asked for it. Used to be this actual segment in famous Monsters of Filmland called that, tongue in cheek. Another Monster and the Wolf, a guillotine homage, like from I want to say one of the EC books. And of course, the combo Spider-Man creepy clown cover, Spider-Man #1 homage and a creepy clown mixed in with that. I love when he mixes stuff up. He mixes his things so well, and it's like, oh man, this guy's amazing. Especially monster stuff. I mean, the superhero stuff he does is okay. It's all right. You know, I've seen some good superhero stuff. He did a Vampirella one, once again a monster though. It was for Vampirella book. This one is like a Garbage Pail Kids with the wolf. This is a regular cardstock. The only foil one I got one foil one. I bought 10 bags. Only got one duplicate, and that was that Frankenstein one, that orange Frankenstein cover. So I was lucky enough not to get very many duplicates. This is the most valuable one. This was going for like maybe, some people sold it for like maybe $40, $50. I could have sold it and maybe paid for all these, but you know, it's just not worth it. I'm just gonna hang on. I like his stuff. If I didn't like his stuff, I would have sold it. If in the cover I didn't like, I would have sold it. And the last one is this last one. That's how it works. It was I know, Damon, you got a sketch cover as well. I got one sketch cover. Got one black and white sketch, one white sketch cover. There was a black sketch cover as well, which is pretty cool. But this is when I started working on already. I'm gonna leave, man. I'm just like not able to get this in there. So I'm still working on that one. I'm gonna color that in at some point. But I love drawing Frankenstein, like I said. So that is my Mark Spears haul from that. Now from the shop this week, it was a slow week for most folks, and me was no exception. I was no exception. It was a very slow week. I welcomed it. This next week will probably be busy, and it'll be a lot easier. I mean, since I've stopped ordering Marvel and DC, FOC has been a breeze. I just skipped those big two right there, baby. My bill has been like $20. Man, it's like sometimes the universe just kicks you in the ass and it's like, what are you doing? You know, stop buying that shit. You know, they don't care about you. You know what? You're right. I can save money and and have more time to read stuff that I really care about. So this week, Robo Wolf number 2 finally came out. I think maybe 6 months apart. Sometimes it bees like that with indie creators. So I'm here to read it because they had really great artwork in there. I don't really care that it took a long time to come out. And Synthetics Volume 1, number 1 of 4, from J. Michael Straczynski and Tony Parker. This looks pretty good too, from Dark Horse. Only concern with Straczynski sometimes get a little wordy. I don't I don't like my comics to be super wordy. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know how that feels. I know like I want picture books, but I like artists, I like writers, I should say, that let the art speak for itself. Let the art talk, man. I mean, don't we know you got a lot of words, we get it, but sometimes I just want to I want to have an even mix of words and pictures. That's what this is. So we'll see. Frank liked it at the Frank at Danger Room liked it a lot. So we'll see. Got good taste. We'll be doing a Frank segment at some point too for you folks. We're trying to figure out. He's real busy, and he's an entrepreneur. He's trying to run this shop by himself, so he doesn't have a lot of time. So figure out a way to get him on here from a shop owner's point of view and have like a little segment, maybe that we will pre-record and release as a separate video. The only one I bought that was not an indie book was this one, The Absolute Batman Annual. Daniel Warren Johnson. Daniel Warren Johnson usually caught a little flack on Instagram for something he put up, and this is just my way of supporting him and saying like, I feel you. I feel you, brother. Daniel Warren Johnson, dude. Next time I see that man on the show, I'm gonna give him a nice big tip. I'm gonna get him to do something for me. Do him a commission or something like that, or buy one of his prints. Give him a real big tip. The last one is Barbaric, The Black Knight, number 1. So many Barbaric series. I honestly, I'm maybe 2 Barbaric series behind, but now that I'm going to be buying a lot less stuff, I can catch up on them. So that's something to look forward to as well. I've trimmed the fat, as it were, if you will. I know you will. DWJ, baby. That's what's happening. Yes, I think it would be. I think he wants to do. I was talking to him about it today, but it's just a matter of working out with our schedules and stuff. DWJ is the savior of the comics. That's what man. He is definitely that guy. I liked it earlier. Yeah, me too. But I kind of fell off after I guess I don't know. He was got so many kept coming out, and I fell behind. But not because of the quality of them. But I don't know. I know they're well drawn and well written. Hey, how's it going, Walter? Yes, I totally agree. DWJ did an amazing job with the annual. Oof, I can't wait to read it then. Huh. And Roscoe also liked the first volume of Barbaric. Cool. All right, I think that is all the books. All the books. Oh, did I neglect to say? I gotta read these and not spill them all. Is this week I will also be initiating something I'm calling the weekly stack. And the weekly stack is going to be like 5 or so books I'm going to be giving away at the end or near the end of the stream. So those of you that can stick around, cool. Those of you who want to come back, that's cool too. But it's a little something I give you for sticking around. This first one here is a Marvel. Well, hold that against me too. I got plenty of Marvel, so I'll be giving them away, not buying them. Blood Hunt number 3. Is this a red band? Nope. I guess Blood Hunt was bloody enough as it is. So Blood Hunt number 3. I think maybe something happened in this. Not sure. Maybe a key, but not. So it's a Blood Hunt. Grimm number 1. I think this is a B cover of Grimm #1, maybe a B or C cover. It's a Frizen. Might be a Frizen. I think it's a Frizen. And this is a #1 of the House of Slaughter. The shiny kind. The Chromium House of Slaughter. Mark Spears' cover on Deadly Tales of the Gunslinger Spawn, #2. This is one of his nicer covers, I think. Because Gunslinger Spawn is kind of a monster, so does that genre so well. And the last one being an actual Mark Spears Monsters #1. This is the 3rd printing. He's only done, I think, maybe 5 printings of the #1 so far, and they've all been amazing. So that's what you're going to get in this week's stack of free comics. So the weekly stack for that has been announced, and I think that is all for the comic books for now, so we can get into the What's Good segment. And bada boom, bada bing. Did I see Space Case? Hello, Space Case. Awesome. And thank you for confirming, Roscoe. Appreciate you. All right, so now going into What's Good, and I can draw those things up real fast here. Didn't get to read as many books as I thought I might read on the break, but there's so much stuff going on with the kitty drama and all that stuff. Oh, it was crazy. But I got a chance to read some things. One of them is Marion Heretic. This is from Boom Studios. Kids don't try this at home. It's not the way you take stuff out of a bag. And it is written by Teenie Howard, illustrated by Joe Jarrow, and colors by Walter Biamonte, with letters by Jim Campbell, and covered by this cover here is actually the Frizen cover. Yeah, I know this one's a Frizen cover. I just recently bought it, so I remember it. All right. What's the deal? What is the deal with Marion Heretic? I'll tell you in 1 second. All right, let's run the little deal here. Marion Heretic. Sister Marion is a witch hunter, Mother Superior, and a heretic, guided by a goddess to the church refuses to acknowledge. Excuse me. When the Holy Father brands her order blasphemers. Marion strikes a deadly dark bargain to become their personal enforcer. As she is delivered murderous judgment night after night in the city of Vespers, she can feel her soul fracture. But what can she do with the lives of her sisters at stake? Acclaimed writer Teenie Howard and artist Joe Jarrow launch a provocative new take on nunsploitation, religious horror, and rebellion. I tell you what I think of this thing. It's really, I think, kind of an example. I'm not a religious person at all, but there was a write-up actually in Chip Zdarsky's magazine, the Zdarsky Comic News, the Z Comic News, and basically this first issue here is just like they explained there in the description that I read. Marion, she's been accused of being a heretic by the church, and ends up killing witches. She kills a lot of witches. She's slaying witches all over the place here, and just like with her, I don't know whether her scythe that she uses. There's some representation of what that's supposed to be. Back here, here I am. There's some scythe that she uses to kill the witches with. There's some significance as far as that goes, but they represent the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost, as you saw there in the description. And she meets this other sorcerer. I think it's Laura. What was her name? Lorelei, I think was it the name of the character. But when she meets her, she thinks like, well, maybe I don't need to be doing this. Maybe those three men are the bad guys, and she's kind of tempted to go over to the other side, and that's where we leave off in the first issue. Uh, I thought it was good. I mean, it was not a lot explained. I think that description explained a lot more than you actually would get by reading the book. But it was a lot of blood, gore, and action involved in that book. So, and the art of Joe Jarro is just pretty amazing. So I would check back in with this for a number 2 for sure. I don't know how it would maybe be offensive to people who are super religious, but I don't know, but that remains to be seen. But the artwork is amazing, and I think the story might. It's a lot of like semi-nudity and stuff like that. So there's some for everyone there. So I think that Marian Heretic is definitely worth a second issue for me, and I will be pulling the second issue of that book. All right. The next book is going to be High Strangeness. And this is from Chris Condon. Oh, yeah. This is Chris Condon is the writer. Daniel Noah is the artist. And Dave Chisholm is the colorist. So here's your view for High Strangeness. Spectre Vision, the genre-distorting production company, co-founded by Elijah Wood and Daniel Noah, joined forces with Oni Press and a rotating cast of premier comics talents for an unprecedented excursion into High Strangeness, a brand new series influenced by real, documented cases of paranormal phenomena to reveal the liminal spaces where reality and hallucination and science and mythology all and cosmic wonder give way to wonder and existential terror. In the first double-sized prestige format chapter, writer, producer, and real-life experiencer Daniel Noah joins acclaimed writer Chris Condon, who's done many, many good things, one of which is That Texas Blood, one of my favorite, and award-winning artist Dave Chisholm, on an unexpected encounter with the Men in Black in Chicago of 1967. Magazine writer Harry Keene is dispatched to rural Indiana to investigate the sudden disappearance of Becky Plume, a local teenager who stepped into the national spotlight with staggering photographic evidence of a recent UFO sighting. Frustrated to leave his developing story in Chicago, and his wife, and the wife he's hoping to bring back, Harry sets off to expose a hoax, but instead finds himself in a labyrinth of high strangeness involving a missing girl, her boyfriend, and the UFO, and some mysterious black-clad visitors circling the perimeter of a mystery more vast than Harry could possibly imagine. Told across 5 interconnected prestige format issues that were interlocked to reveal an ambitious, dimension-spanning finale. Whoa. With each chapter of High Strangeness also includes a feature-length essay by podcaster and researcher Jim Perry on the historical facts and documentary evidence underpinning the phenomena detailed in each issue. Now, the cool thing I like about this is I love like weird stuff like this that kind of like doesn't like, it has a direction, but you can see it like setting up 4 or 5 different storylines. Now, this guy, this reporter is leaving Chicago. He's got his hooks out for this like really serious story that he's really like racism in Cicero, Illinois, which is a real thing. It's a real thing. And he was investigating this stuff way back in the 60s. But his editor pulls him off like, hey, there's this thing going on in Indiana with UFOs. You got to cover it. So often, off to the Hoosier state he goes. So, the Hoosier state. Yes, that's where he goes. And he runs into this editor who he gets off on the wrong foot with her, right away. Assuming that like he walks into the office and says like, let me speak to the editor. And she's like, you're speaking to her, not him. So that doesn't go well to begin with. But eventually, she throws him out of his office. So it doesn't go well at all. But that night in his hotel room, he ends up having like these weird dreams, and they kind of depicted that in the visuals I showed there. And he can't get it out of his mind that something is really, really going on here, and it's not just a wild goose chase. And his story in Chicago is going to have to wait. I like this a lot. This is this cover I got right here. This is who is this cover? I forget the artist here. This is like the B cover. It looks way more trippy than the A cover. The Men in Black and all that jazz. Ashy, cadaverous looking Men in Black. Man, you had me at that right there. So 1967, book 1. So it's going to be 5 interconnected stories. This is just the first one. I'm all over this. This is Oni Press. Is that right? Oni Press? Yes. That's Oni Press. So once again, the endings are killing it, and High Strangeness is definitely something to be looked at. All right, the last one. The last one is, I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but it's definitely the longest. It's very good though. This is from Bad Idea. Save Now. This is Matt Kent. Matt Kent. Bad Idea. No, they landed the big fish when they landed him. I can't think of a Matt Kent book I have not thought was well written. And Thomas Giorello is the artist on this one. All right, so let's get this going here. New York Times best-selling writer Matt Kent joins forces with Tomas Giorello and the visionary artist behind Planet Death to present a masterclass in storytelling in this epic, action-packed sci-fi saga. Armed with the extraordinary ability to save any moment of his life and then go back and relive from that point again forward, world-famous superhero Saver, that's his name that he goes by, can rewrite the past, altering his actions time and time again until he gets things right. But with great power also comes great pain. Cursed with only being able to travel backwards, never forwards, he is burdened by having to spend his and relive his entire life agonizing in real time. Travel back 6 days, and he must now relive those 6 days in full, aging all the while. After catching a glimpse of the impending apocalypse, Saver dedicates himself to averting global catastrophe, no matter the cost. But I say, no matter how many times and how far back he goes, he can't find a way to steer the world clear of Armageddon. With no hope for the future, Saver retreats to live in the past, reliving the best year of his life in an endless self-indulgent loop. But when he learns he's going to be a father, everything changes. He's no longer trying to save the world. He's fighting for his daughter's future. Oh, that's a spoiler right there. I wasn't going to mention that. Sometimes the scriptures give the whole thing, the whole gist of the first issue away. Saver works with these other 3 superheroes, quote unquote. He's kind of like Reed Richards, and the other 4 are like the Fantastic Four members. And every time they have the superpowers. They one of them is like a spear. The other one is called Spear, I should say. One is like Numb. His name is Numb. He can't feel pain. And I forget the other woman's name, but she's like an arrow or something. She throws arrows and shoots arrows at people and stuff. And what Saver does is like his people get killed all the time. Like Spear gets killed. Like fuck. Go back, save, go back. He remembers what happened and went wrong, and he'll tell them, okay, this time, Spear, don't do that, do this, and the next time, Spear won't get killed. So it's very cool. It's kind of cool for him, I guess, but it's not cool for them getting killed. They have no memory of the event. They don't remember being killed or anything. So it's just like, for them, like, you did a great job, didn't we? You're like, oh, you have no fucking idea. I saved your ass so many times. This guy's a very cool concept. I like it. So, but eventually, he's every time he goes back in time, he's aging. Like you can see him age throughout the issue as well. He's a very young man when it starts. By the end of the book, he's just like, oh my God, it's just wearing on him. and eventually there's an apocalypse that happens at the end, and they can't figure out how to beat that apocalypse, and he keeps getting there and then going back. And at some point, you just say, like, you know what? I'm tired of just, like, taxing myself like this. I'm just going to relive my life with my lady, and just go from there. And eventually, though, along with all this fame and prosperity, Saver succumbs to temptation, and he has an affair. He has an affair with this girl, and they showed it in the thing there in Las Vegas. What happens in Vegas don't always stay in Vegas, especially if you're well known, and it comes out in the tabloids. And his lady leaves him, and she's, fuck, he's just like, how'd I mess that up? So what do you think he does? I want to go back in time. I'm going to go back in time, and this woman and his hoochie have no idea of what happened. So in his wife's eyes, he's still the hero that he always has been. But then at some point, like it says in the spoiler there, he loses, or I should say she becomes pregnant, and now, you know what? I'm not doing it just for me now. I gotta, find a way that I can save the future for my child. So nice going, Matt Kent, way to work that in there, the love of a parent, and use that as part of the story. That's always a thing that works for these stories, and this is no different. And it's so well written. Some people write dialogue as good as him, but he writes dialogue very well. He's almost in the Brian Bendis dialogue writing category to me. He also writes very good dialogue. Save Now is definitely a pull for me. It's super thick. I mean, it's got to be like about, you saw how long that video was. I mean, I put I had to cut stuff out of that. It was like super long, all great art. Really good stuff. And I love the concept. And I always think about, what if you could, you always have these time travelers, but they're able to come back just as fresh and nice as they were when they left. What if you had to age? You couldn't go forward. You got to just live it through. He went back to the 1890s. That would be it for him, or as long as a human lifespan would be. So just that whole concept is good for me. So definitely Save Now is on the list. And this is a few weeks ago, I got this print from Comic Tom. I did the mystery mail call. I was wondering, what's this about? And then I just happened to save it. Usually I just toss them aside or whatever. But this one is kind of cool. And now I see it's just it was for a promo for this book. Very cool promo that came with it. So Save Now, bad idea. And that is what's good for this evening. Thank you, folks. That idea is a good idea. Yes, that comparison with Bendis. Yes, thank you. Yes, sir. What's that, Mojo? Yeah, Red Book by Tiny, and yeah, he's probably talking about this High Strangeness. Yeah, you know me so well, Mojo. You know me so well. That's the Mind Management is another good one. There was two volumes of that, I should say. And you and I are both cover junkies. Yep. Hey, Mike DeBradley, what's happening, my brother? How you doing? I think I'm okay right now. Thank you, though. I think I'm doing pretty good. I appreciate you. Yes. Yeah, yes. Men in Black. It's that's just my jam. Weird shit like that. All right, so that's all for the what's good stuff. Next is next week's preview, which is going to be all about indie comics. Invite. There you go. Didn't have this lined up. Please bear with me. I'm going to share the screen. New comics this week. And bada boom, bada bing. There we go. All right. So, coming up, skipping past all that other trash. Shouldn't say trash. It's people's work, but they're working for the enemy. my enemy. First thing we're going to look at is assorted crisis events. Assorted crisis events has been like a standalone issue in every issue. That's what I like about it. It's one of those things like Ice Cream Man, sort of. There's some things that link them together, that they're all in the same reality. They're all in the same, I guess, the universe is falling apart around all the participants in these stories. This one is Dennis Camp, Dennis. He does pronounce it Dennis, I want to say. Dennis Camp is writing this one. Eric Zawaldi also, and Jordi Belair is coloring. Eric Zawaldi is drawing it. Excuse me. Turns in November. I love when they take hiatuses. This is take a couple of months for this one. This is a Marcos Martin variant. Yeah. The new arc throws readers straight into the chaos. Are you or someone you love experiencing retro anterograde temporal diminishment? Suddenly, shifting between childhood and old age, forgetting names, dates, and even loved ones? In assorted crisis events, time doesn't play by the rules. Ordinary people face broken timelines, looping days. I can talk. Space portals, wayward travelers from different eras, and alternate versions of themselves, all while walking down the street. I was walking down the street, and I ran into another me. Here's Eric Zawaldi, Young Blood team up wraparound cover. This dude here, he's one of the ties to the whole series. He shows up in almost every book, like in the background, like fucking Waldo. And I guess we'll find out eventually who he is, or maybe they've already explained who he was, and I didn't catch that issue. Yeah. I mean, that's a good thing, because if you stack them, you're probably going to have a good reading time. I read the first one and maybe the second or third one. I think I have all of them as well. But you can always go back and get them because they're not sequential. Oh. There you go. If I get rid of that comment. There we go. All right. Coming on down here. The next book we're going to look at. Oh, one of my favorites. Minor Arcana. Where are you, Minor Arcana? There we go. The search for truth leads to new mysteries for Teresa and Kelly. Driven by a need for answers, Teresa tests the boundaries of her powers, only to be met with deeper uncertainty. Meanwhile, Kelly's search for her missing brother takes a surreal turn that leads to a strange place. A strange place, like full of even stranger people. Will they both find themselves inching closer to the truth or further from it than ever before? I like the direction this is taken too. There's been some new characters introduced into this story. Y'all that are following, y'all know. Yeah. Still doing tarot card variants. Yeah, I think they are. They're harder and harder to come by too. I've been trying to collect those. Let's see. Yes, they are. There's one right here. This is the and Lemire draws those too. That's his thing. The devil. That's one of the new characters being introduced too. How appropriate. That's number 9, right? Number 9 or number 10, is it? Number 11, shit. I'm going to read my Roman numerals. XI 11. I actually learned those in school. Did anybody else learn Roman numerals in school? How long ago that was? We read them off a tablet. A stone tablet. This is Emmy Lennox. Not Annie Lennox. Emmy Lennox. I think I may have gotten her 1 in 20. This is a regular one here. This is just a cover B. She draws Teresa very, very nicely. I like Jeff Lemire's art, but I like the way other people draw Teresa. This is it's the same one. I thought it was going to be like an incentive. Here's the 1 in 20 incentive. Tansi Zonchik. I hope I didn't mess her name up. Well, there's that. Yeah. Glad to see there's a little bit of love here. Not a whole lot of love, but it's a little bit of love being given to Minor Arcana. Very good book. I highly recommend it. All right. Moving on down the list. Next book we're going to look at is Planet Death. Another bad idea. That's a good idea. Blockbuster screenwriter Derek Kolstad, creator and writer of the box office dominating motion picture franchise John Wick, and New York Times best-selling writer Robert Venditti, joined forces with artistic visionary Tomas Giorello. I just read a book by him. That was the other bad idea book. To up the stakes in the next must-read chapter of the massive best-selling comic book event. This is an event. Number 2 just now coming out. I love it. They spaced those out. I mean, I thought I missed number 2. Last Man Standing. After a brutal barrage of alien gunfire decimates the entire landing force, Corporal Scott stands alone, left to bear witness as the alien hordes towering hover ships skewer any remaining survivors. The human beachhead completely shattered, Scott must use every weapon in his arsenal as he single-handedly battles his way towards the devastating aliens' weapons he's been tasked to destroy. But the alien army isn't the only thing lurking on Planet Death. Hunted by a savage apex predator, Scott is thrust into a brutal battle for survival. There's no backup, no escape, just one mission, destroy the weapon or die trying. How about die trying? Amazing artwork in this from Tomas Giorello. You saw the first issue of Planet Death. There was so much detail, like in this little thing here. It's so much insane detail. If I had to like draw that much stuff, I would just like cry. This is Ryan Sook, the wraparound variant. Very different than I remember Ryan Sook's artwork looking. What else we got here? We got Joe Quesada. Joe Quesada, black and white virgin variant. It's a 1 in 50. Joe Quesada, man, he's Joe Quesada can burn. I forgot how good an artist he is. Nice. And what else we got here? That's just Lanil Yu of the 1 in 25 here. Nice. Planet Death I also recommend. I probably talked about that on a previous What's Good. Yes, that's absolutely, Thomas. I'm glad somebody else mentioned that. The number 0 was all newsprint, and with that brilliant coloring throughout. Number 0, if you can catch that somewhere, that's worth a pick. Yes. As you mentioned in the very next comment. Yep. And I think the number 1 was a shiny cardstock cover, but with newsprint interior pages, I should say. Yeah. Good stuff. That bad idea. I don't know what happened to bad idea. I mean, at first they were kind of like, the gimmick of the week kind of a thing. But I guess after a while, they just kind of got their shit together and like, maybe we should actually produce some good comics. Thank God. Thank fuck they did that. All right, next one is Speed Racer. I meant to not do that. Yeah, Speed Racer. Speed Racer, number 4. This has been better than I expected. I mean, Speed Racer is, when you watch the people that grew up with it like I did, maybe they have some nostalgia for it. But if you didn't grow up with it, you really don't feel the thing, because it's kind of like, like kind of cringy when you look at it in retrospect. But I found Speed Racer, the original Speed Racer, actually before it was translated on Tubi, one of my free TV shows, channels that I watch now. Tubi is awesome because it's a lot of commercials in it, but at least they warn you about the commercials, tell you how many commercials are coming. But they have what they call it, Mach Go Go Go. It's what Speed Racer was originally before it became translated and brought to the United States as Speed Racer. And it makes more sense if you. It's tough reading the translation because it's so fast moving and it's don't want to miss the art. But Mach Go 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 actually based on a real person, a famous Japanese I think race car driver, and Speed Racer was just what they changed it to for the American audience. But anyway, this adaptation, which is done by David Pepose, and who did a great job on Space Ghost, and he's doing a good job with Speed Racer. The long way down, as Speed Racer enters the treacherous Great Alpine Race. Oh, that was an episode. He clashes with Kim Jugger, who vows to make the Mach 5 a coffin. With sabotage already underway and danger past living up to its name, Speed Racer, Racer X, and Jugger weave through the rock slides and flaming wrecks in a brutal fight for the lead. It's so funny with Speed Racer, man. Only like 3 or 4 cars survived the whole race. I mean, in real life, if people died that many, nobody would actually be a race car driver. There was that many fatalities in real life race car driving. Tubi and Pluto. Oh my God, man! I know, man. That's what's happening. That's where it's at. Thank God for the mute button. Let's turn the mute button on when the commercials come on. You get your unfiltered, unedited content. For free, pretty much. Just have to endure the ads. That's what's happening right there. So yeah, Speed Racer is pretty cool, man. I'm collecting these covers, like these retro covers by Sean Galloway. The number 4 is retro cover, and this is Chris Batista. The cover C. Ace Ducey. The names they came up with, like Inspector Detector and Ace Ducey and all this. Oh wow. Well, yeah, this is good. This is good. Speed Racer is awesome. Okay, I'll go back to my original page. Oop. Where are we? I got lost. There we go. Finally back to the main page. Facebook. I'm. That's interesting you say that. I was afraid it wouldn't be that good, and I dropped Space Ghost after Volume 1. I said, there's no way you can top that. So yeah, it's good to know. I might have to jump back on. All right, coming on down the list here. Oh, speaking of Ice Cream Man, he is on a Death Speed Racer. Look at this. Look at this. Ice Cream Man, the Mortal Coil Shuffle Card Set Special, number 1. Wow. So what are they doing with this here? It's a $10 book. Oh, it's going to be badass. Ice Cream Man is proud to present an unprecedented comic book event. Oh, brace yourself. Continuing their exploration into just what a comic can be, the award-nominated team responsible for Ice Cream Man, one of the most enduring, it says here, comics of the last decade, have pushed the envelope so far it's fallen right off the table, like my cat does. The Mortal Coil Shuffle is a one-time only, one-of-a-kind Ice Cream Man story, told via a deck of 55 playing cards, rather than within the periodical pages of a traditional floppy comic book. Ice Cream Man, the Mortal Coil Shuffle, a beautiful, it says here, a beautiful custom-designed deck of cards featuring custom backs and a custom box tool. All art is, as ever, by Ice Cream Man stalwarts Marazzo, Chris O'Halloran, and good old Neon. Some cards will tell part of the story, while other cards cast inscrutable spells on unwitting characters and must and some must be joined with other cards to form a complete piece of art. Wow. The card deck's version of a spread. Oh, okay. It is a first of its kind comic experiment, and also perhaps the last. Yeah, it depends on how that goes, huh? Um, it it's a first of its kind. Okay, the Mortal Coil Shuffle will be printed once and only once. No second printings, no new runs, and never collected in a trade of any kind. It will exist, and then, like magic, it won't. So get ready to go fish, draw four, declare war, and probably fold your hand in this exciting comic book delivering style. Told, of course, in creepy, strange voice readers have come to expect from Ice Cream Man yarns. Good luck and watch out for those wild cards. Now that is ambition right there, huh? What do the comments have to say about that? Yeah. It's been delayed back in September. Well, hopefully it's coming out now. So, man, I mean, you guys out there reading Ice Cream Man know what I'm talking about. I know, man. This is like I can't imagine anyone's done it before. I mean, a lot of books have printed like cards as far as like with the one that's going on right now, Exquisite Corpses. That has a variant that has a different card in each issue that's going to eventually become a set. But this is something altogether much more ambitious. Because man, I'm glad I'm sub to it. Hopefully I'll definitely get that one whenever it comes out. I look forward to this big time. That's what I'm talking about, y'all. That's what I'm talking about. Ice Cream Man for the win. All right, moving on down the list. Next one we're going to look at is Tales of Paranoia. Yes. Tales of Paranoia ended up where is that there? Did I just pass it? Skirts, Nemesis. I think I just passed it. Nope, I couldn't have passed it. It's in here somewhere. It was here yesterday. White House Robot. White House Robot. Oh, I mean to do that. The little click buttons on the side of the mouse, and then when you click the side of the mouse, it goes back to the next page. The last thing a twitchy individual like me needs is something like that. All right, White House Robot. I was saying I actually read that by Chip Zdarsky, and it was kind of cute. You know, number 2 is just now coming out. I don't know if there was nothing else going on, I would probably pick it up. You know, where are we? I know it was here yesterday. Tales of Paranoia. Well, not. Oh, here we go. There we go. Almost like R. Crumb on the cover there. Oh, it is Fantagraphics book, so it probably is. The first R. Crumb comic book in 23 years. No fucking wonder. The seminal cartoonist who single-handedly invented the alternate comics format. Huh. That's him. That's him, all right. The seminal cartoonist who single-handedly invented the alternative comics format of the one-person anthology in 1967 with Zap returns at age 81. Still kicking, damn. Still raging at the world and himself, still drawing like a master, and still funny, mostly. In his latest comics excursion, Crumb dives down deep into the internet and newspaper rabbit holes and comes up asking questions. Why don't we know the real background of deep state careerist? Well, I don't know. Why don't we? And is Crumb himself just as paranoid as everyone else tells him he is? Or is that just what they want you to think? Mixing memoirs, essay, polemic, neuroses and conspiracy across 12 short comics, including the final Dirty Laundry story drawn by Crumb with a script written by Eileen Comiskey Crumb before her death in 2022. Tales of Paranoia shows there's still plenty of life in both the artists and the classic underground comics format. That's interesting. That's interesting. I wonder if they were working on this way back then when before she passed. That's probably an actual way he looks right now too. He lives in France. Artist R. Crumb. Slam pull, says this person here. Milk Bones. Yeah, wow. I mean, I didn't this is definitely something I would get for sure. This is a $5.99 book. I'm sure Danger Room would have it. I'm sure you guys remember that? I may have borrowed that from you guys. Oh, geez. Yeah, that does look very interesting. Yeah, very much. Very much. I mean, it's definitely a slam pull for me too. Yeah. R. Crumb, maybe. I mean, there's a lot of ways you can interpret him. There's like some stuff that you might think there's maybe some folks would consider racist that he's done in the past. And I wouldn't argue with you on that, but there's no denying the talent is there. The talent for one of the greatest cartoonists that ever fucking picked up a fucking pen. The man is amazing. All right, the next one is Space Scout. Space Scout. Oh, yes, I'm also reading Wild Animals. Wild Animals number 4 is coming out. I think I may have did What's Good on Wild Animals too, about this kid who just had, man, he just had like shit just collapse all around him. And he decides to go out and kill the people, the cops, the dirty cops who murdered his father. And that's a good series that I'm also watching or reading. Yeah, let's do Space Scouts first, if you will. I think you will. Space Scouts from Dark Horse, a brand new science fiction action series, adventure series, Odyssey they call it, by Esther's Matt Kent and David Rubin. A young girl head to the center of the universe to compete in a reality show to become the next Space Scout. What starts as a teenage drama turns into a deadly war at the edge of the universe as the winning recruits are sent into a clandestine, interminable battle that they most likely won't survive. Space Scouts is the latest release from Flux House Books, a new boutique imprint that will feature the writing and sometimes art of acclaimed comics creators Matt Kent, with crime, science fiction, horror, and humorous titles, all told and presented in startling and untraditional ways. This is his imprint. He does this. This is his thing. David Rubin is the artist on this particular one here. What's the last thing he did? He did about this Spy Superb, I want to say, the one that I last read by him. He's probably done some since then. But Spy Superb was good. It was very good. What's that? Gosh, I just ordered 2 ice cream. Yeah, man, I would too. I mean, I'm gonna make sure I get a backup copy of this. Never gonna be done again. This is kind of one of a kind. Definitely one of a kind. A little bit of Farrell Dalrymple there. I like Farrell Dalrymple. I wasn't even up on him until the comic, the Todd book, a Robot Todd book. Yeah, it looks kind of like that. This is Sergio Organes. Wow. Okay. Cover B. I know a lot of y'all, but Phil and Damien know about Sergio Organes for sure. Mad Magazine. He did a lot of work for them, I want to say. spilling stuff on my shirt here. Yeah. I think he did the Mad Fold-In page too. Now that's really, really that's really if you us Mad magazine readers know a lot about the Mad Fold-In, and that took a lot of near mint Mad magazines down to VG, because you always have to fold it in to make it do the little thingy. Okay, Space Scout is the thing I might check out. The next thing is right next door to it, which is called Noblesse. There's no place like home. Put your heels together 3 times. This is from that up-and-coming publisher, Ignition Press. Wow. I know some of y'all may or may not like Tim Steely, but this is the Tim Steely joint. Eisner-nominated writer Tim Steely. You all know what he's done. Invite you and of course, and knockout artist Stefano Simone invite you to explore the chilling side of childhood imagination in this new dark fantasy adventure. Mariposa Montiel is having a cruel homecoming. As the daughter of immigrants, the outcast teenager is no stranger to scrutiny, but this is another level. Years of vanishing from her childhood, I want to be childhood so badly, from a Chicago neighborhood. Mari has returned to a traumatized family and a media circus with nothing but a tiger-striped feather and an extraordinary tale of her time away as the champion of a magical jungle land called Meahulela? Or may I not? Mari is met as a fraud, and her story makes her a stranger, I should say, in her own life until an eccentric high-tech organization known as N.O. Place emerges from the shadows and welcomes her home. Led by a legend of the land of Oz, the secret agency has its finger on the pulse of a so-called fictional world. And as its newest recruit, Mari is now called upon to save our own world from a creeping Lovecraftian nightmare. No Place unites all new heroes with horrific and beloved genre icons alike, featuring main covers by series artists, Stefano Simone. Whoa, there's 2 different covers here. Yeah, Stefano Simone and World Design and Lettering. Yeah. Tim Steely never misses. Well, wouldn't say that, but I do like a lot of Tim Steely stuff. So this is Simone is doing all the covers. But this is actually, no, I'll take that back. This is a Tim Steely variant. So Tim Steely, we forget sometimes that Tim Steely also is an artist. It's very cool. And it's a Christian Ward 1 in 5 from Ignition Press. Ignition Press I can't think of one that I've gotten from them that I did not like. Some of them have been better than others, but they've all been good. So I think it's something to keep an eye on there. Yes, Gru the Wanderer. He did Gru the Wanderer as well. Fun fact, Mariposa is Spanish for butterfly. I did not know that. Thank you. Because those of you that don't know that Janet speaks fluent Spanish. Of course, she'll say it's not, but it's pretty damn fluent to me. She's better than I. She can carry on conversations. I was like, what they say. All right, so I'll definitely be checking that out too. And we're coming up pretty close to the penultimate book. In fact, we are kicking the hell out of it. So we're just going to go right now and do it. That thing. Yes, Ignition Press. Yes. Bungle. I've not seen that one. Let's check that one out. Okay. Word. Okay. Awesome. All right. Well, here we go, folks, for the penultimate book. Yes, hashtag Felix. Yes, they would be a kidnap. We're very close to a kitten attack. All right, we can bring him in for the last book. All right, the penultimate book this week, folks, is from one of my favorites, one of my favorite writers. There's no trailer for it, but I love this guy's work, and it's from Oni Press. And it's called Crownsville, and it is written by my man Rodney Barnes. Rodney Barnes, and the artist is Elia Bonetti. So this is gonna be good stuff. Good stuff, folks. Sins of the past don't stay buried. They always find a way of rising from the grave. From Eisner Award nominated writer and master storyteller Rodney Barnes, you know all the stuff he's done, and phenomenal artist Elia Bonetti, enter a century-spanning tale of suspense and sorrow as true crime meets shocking terror inside an infamous asylum with a tortured past in this double-sized 48-page debut. Founded at the turn of the 20th century outside of Annapolis, Maryland, the Crownsville Hospital was a notoriously segregated, all-Black psychiatric institute. After decades of overcrowding and neglect, alongside darker, more persistent rumors of patient abuse and illegal medical experiments, it was finally closed. Today it stands condemned, a crumbling testament to a legacy of all too real terror inflicted on a marginalized and vulnerable community. But even as a ruin of its former self, Crownville still cast a long shadow. When an unexplained death inside the abandoned hospital is ruled a suicide, Annapolis police detective Mike Sims and journalist Paul Blair are compelled to dig deeper, only to discover the reality of the horrors that once took place there and the powerful connection they share to the anguished spirits of the dead that are still locked within its walls. Damn. And I don't know if y'all listen to, some of y'all might listen to Mr. Ballin, Tales of the Strange, Dark, and The Tall, Dark, and Handsome. Tales of the Strange, Dark, and Mysterious. And Rodney Barnes does a series for him called Run Fool. And some of the stories he tells, man, I don't think they're exactly true, but they're based in fact, and they're based on myth and stuff like that. And I think it's hard to tell where myth ends and truth begins with a lot of his stuff. And all that stuff about Crownsville is accurate. It's a real place. It's condemned. They did all those things that they mentioned in there. But yeah, I can't see how. I hope I pre-ordered this, but if I didn't, I'm damn sure going to find it somewhere. Yes, I know, right? Yeah, for real. This man, this is something else. I mean, this is real life horror, and that's being in that institution or being in something like that and being tortured is almost unimaginable. So to have Rodney tell this story, I would be remiss to not pick this book up. The fan I am of his. So yeah, that's for sure going to be a thing. I'm going to be pulled. Yeah, Mo knows what time it is. Yeah, Run Fool is where it's at. Yeah, and Mr. Bond has some other stuff too, but Run Fool is one of his best things. There's that thing called Redacted also, which is about so-called conspiracy theories and that may not be true, and pretty much based in reality too. It's just like all the stuff on the content that they do. So, yep, that is the penultimate book for this evening. And if you're listening, honey, you can drop Felix in anytime you want. So maybe he'll, unless he's sleeping, don't mess with him. Let him get his nap in. He needs his rest. All right, coming on down the list here. Last book of the evening. Let's see. That's going to be the honor. The last book of the evening will go to Circus Maximus. This is from Mad Cave. And it is written by Mark Sable, and art by Giorgio Pontarelli, colorist Emilio Least, and letterer Dave Sharp. All right, looks pretty cool. Rome, 64 AD. The most daring heist in history is being planned by an unlikely crew. A former slave, a Vestal virgin, a charioteer, like a cab driver back in the day, and a disgraced architect, each with their own personal motives. While Rome is distracted by the chariot racing, and gladiatorial games of the Circus Maximus, the crew plans to rob the imperial treasury under the Temple of Saturn. But when Emperor Nero sets fire to the city, as he fiddled, as we all know, they'll be lucky to escape his wrath with their lives, let alone the loot. From Mark Sable, all the stuff he's done, and which is Giorgio Pontarelli, Circus Maximus is Gladiator meets Heat in a blood-soaked historical thriller. Oh, yeah, I tell you, I'm Felix, come here, buddy. You jump in my lap in a second. Oh gosh, bless you. Okay, thank you. All right, so this is something I would probably pick up too. I will definitely probably pick up if I haven't already pre-ordered it. There's another Rome, kind of like, remember Rome is the series that was on a while back. It kind of reminded me of that series. There's a series going on right now that kind of is in that same genre. Hey, buddy. You're probably jumping up here all day long. But Circus Maximus looks like it might be something you might want to check out too. So, yeah. Yeah, you might be. Hey, who this? Shotgun Scream. What's happening? Go on, everybody. Great selection tonight. Thanks for starting. Hey, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you. Oh, all right. So, yeah, that's going to do it for this edition. Let's go back to the regular screen here. Just for myself. And there we are. And here's little Felix. He's messing with the microphone already. See, that's why he couldn't be in the whole time. So here's a handsome boy, isn't he? Say hi to Uncle Phil. Like on the Fresh Prince. Say hi to Uncle Phil and the rest of the gang out there. Yeah, he's only like about going on 6 months old right now, so he's going to grow up a little bit more and probably eat a little bit less the older he gets. So that's what's been happening as far as we go, as far as our lives and stuff like that, kiddie drama, things moving on. And we had our lights knocked out this weekend, and we had our internet knocked out. We missed at least I missed all the football games and part of the World Series the last couple of days. The fun about living in the boondocks, stuff that's just the rent's cheaper. Well, not the rent, but the property is cheaper. But you got to deal with stuff like that all the time. We're always getting stuff like that. The lights start to flicker. Oh shit! And get ready for it. Get ready for it. So coming up, I'm trying to work something out with Staple Spine Jack. Y'all know him from Staple Spine and from Staple Sounds. If you listen to X-Ray FM in Portland, I listen to it anyway. I'm in Washington. I still listen to it. But he's very busy around Halloween. Halloween's his birthday a few days ago. I think it was his birthday, and it's his favorite holiday. But definitely, I'm going to be on Roscoe's new show, which is, correct me if I'm wrong, Drawn to Me, I want to say. I think that's correct. The correct name for it. So the Between the Lines has been changed to that. I'll be on that next Monday, which is the 3rd of November, and that's going to be at 8. No, it's going to be 8 Eastern time. Now to figure what that is. Drawn to You. Thank you, Phil. Drawn to You, an art stream. Drawn to You. Yes, drawn to you. Drawn to me. Come to me, like Dracula would say. So I'll be on there. And next week, Phil will be my co-host along with Mr. Moore, which is going to be talking about his Kickstarter for his book. So, man, I appreciate you all for stopping by. Yeah, I know. It's a mischievous as Heathcliff is too. And God willing, and the creek don't rise, we'll be back again for next week. So, yeah, man, since the Cubs got knocked out early, as I figured they would, and then the Mariners, the Mariners. I tell you, the sorrow up here in the PNW is palpable. When the Mariners got knocked out, it's like I had to talk one of my buddies off the ledge after that happened. It's like, dude, Cub fan here. Okay, it's gonna get better. They're gonna win it eventually. They got a good team going on with a big dumper. But might as well be the Dodgers. Fuck it. I don't have a dog in the fight now, but I just wanted to go 7 games. If it goes 7 games, man, I'm happy. All right, so it's so nice to be back, Phil. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for co-hosting, and along with TN Comedy, thank you, my brother, for doing it in a couple of weeks. And until that time, folks, peace and love. Peace and love. I love all you guys, and I'll see you next week. Good night. Say good night, Felix. Good night, Felix. There you go. He's a comedian, isn't he?
We love you, Denver! City by the Bay! John Denver!
Is a fire really necessary?
Ask them.